My name is Dina Maslamani and I'm presenting the play Antisocial Dance. The ruling idea in the play and this presentation is that in the social dance by Wakako Yamauchi, the author explores the limitations and circumstances in which the first generation Japanese immigrants in the United States lived. Additionally, the play treats memory as a fundamental element throughout the narrative. In Act 1, Scene 1, um, in the scene, it's a scene, the first scene, where the interior of the Murata's house is presented during the exposition. I want the audience to feel a connection as if they were inside the play to understand the circumstances in which this family lives. So what I want the house to look like is with the wooden floors, like this image, and yellow stucco wall idea, like this one. And furthermore, um, I want to present a rustic wooden kitchen and 4 rustic wooden chairs because I think these are affordable items because as the play described, the Muratas aren't a wealthy family. They're like a middle to low class family, mostly because they're immigrants, Japanese immigrants in that time of 1935. Um, the other images and like objects I want to present is a vintage metal bed with floral pattern of bed sheets, like this one. Lastly, in the Act 1 and Scene 1, I wanted to do something different. I wanted to make the bathhouse like outside, not inside the house, outside the house. And I chose to like put or present a wooden room like this one because as the play described and explained, um, Masako burned down the house, the bathhouse, and this is the rustic metal bathtub that I wanted to include in the bathhouse. And in Act 1, Scene 3, it's a scene where the Muratas already left the Oka house and Emika starts arguing with Oka during the rise in action. And I want the audience to feel surprised of the type of relationship these two have. So when the Muratas leave, uh, Emiko starts arguing with Oka and she sits in a wooden bench like this one. And I assumed it's outside the house, maybe in the front door or in the yard. And I wanted to add also a wooden window like this one. Um, Furthermore, I wanted to add the front door like this one. It's weathered because the play described that the Okas have a like decayed house more than the Muratas. And I wanted to add a 1930s alcohol drink because the play describes that Emiko poured herself a drink while they were arguing. And this is an example of the drink at that time. In Act 2 and Scene 2, it's a scene where Kyoko runs scared to the Murata's house due to Oka's and Emiko's fight during the climax. And the audience should feel empathy for Kyoko because she deserves a stable family and home. So it's a November night. The family is at the previously shown kitchen table and they're having tea. So this is a Japanese stone tea set that I imagined, and I think it's really well for the play because they're Japanese and they still want to keep those costumes and special things from their culture. So I think this is a good idea. And this is the wooden front door that I chose when where Kyoko knocks scared, and it isn't like that decayed as the Oka's house. I also wanted to add a newspaper This newspaper was Murata was reading it while they were having tea, and I think this is a good idea because it's from 1930s, and I think this is like something he would be reading. And lastly, at this scene 2, in Act 2, the lamps were lit, and I think this is a good idea for the lamp because it's rustic, old, and it's simple. In Act 2 and Scene 4, it's a scene where Oka and Kyoko are having a father and daughter day, and Kyoko has new clothes, shoes, and hairstyle during the falling action. And I think that the audience, and I want the audience to feel contented and be aware of the positive change Kyoko has gone through, because as we know in the play, Kyoko came from Japan as well, and most recently to live with her father, and this is a new like country for her, new culture, costumes, and this is a positive thing. So she was reading magazines, and this is a magazine that I assume she would be reading. It's a 1930s example. And later in the scene, Emiko starts fighting or arguing with Oka because she didn't find her money. And this is the can where she used to have her money. And she holds it in her hand like empty, and with the other hand with the lid. So this is an idea of what I want it to look like. And lastly, in the scene, Kyoko carries like a small package, and I think this is like something it will look like real simple, and that's it. And in the last scene is Act 2, Scene 5. It's a scene where Kyoko accepts her situation and clings to her memories, dancing to and the social dance during the resolution. And I want the audience to feel relieved and assuaged. So it is a spring evening, and a shrub, most likely a tumbleweed like this one, appears, and then Emiko appears wearing a kimono tied loosely to her waist and carries a branch of sage. This is the branch of sage that I want to present. And the sage has a significance and meaning, like deeply meaning. This sage is used to achieve healing, a healing state, and to solve spiritual dilemmas. So as we know, Emiko is facing a difficult change because she was attached to her memories and she wanted to go back to Japan. And as we previously saw, she lost her money because Oka used it for Kyoko to buy her clothes, do her hair, shoes, food, like all of that stuff. So I think the branch of sage is used to represent that healing that Emiko is facing and her new like life. And that's it. Thank you.